What's up, guys? It is 10:15 a.m. It is Tuesday. It's February 21st, and this is the crypto market update. So we're going to start off with those three key charts that we're watching to see if, we're headed out of this bear market into a bull market. And then we're going to get into those key market driver kind of charts like the dollar, bond yields, Bitcoin, the stock market, and then we'll get into some of the altcoins. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get updated in real time when we drop these market updates, newsletters, and deep dives. So let's dive into it. So we have the USDT plus USDC market cap chart versus the total crypto market cap. Right now, we are finding some support along this trend line right here. And it does seem, we popped up here and we were ready to cross over, but we're leveling off right now. So we're at a decisive moment as far as, are we going to bounce from this point? And remember, if we go up in this chart, it's not good for crypto. And if we go down, then it's good for crypto as far as a bull market goes. So right now we back here was the break in early January, as far as this was like our whole run. Right when we started breaking down, that was our whole run. And then as we've been going down here, it's been a bit of a run, but not as explosive as this like straight down move. So if we can see another straight down move, then we'll start to get explosive again. But until that point, we're going to kind of chop around. So let's go to the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart right now, we are close to crossing up right there, and then right there, and then there. And then if we pop up here, then that will not be what we want to see for crypto and bull market. So looking back over here and kind of some of the price action like this, we are at a point where, we could pop up. We've kind of done similar things before where we flip the EMA ribbon to red. We come down here, kind of hit it once, and then we level off, hit it twice, and then come back down for a third time, and then we ultimately come up. So we've kind of done that here. So that's why if we do come up, get them rejected at this 12-hour 200 moving average is critical and key, because that's when we break above, then that's going to spell us going up further. And when we go up further, something like this is May of 2021. This was our bull market top. Then as we kind of pull back down here, this was our kind of bottom back in July 2021. And then we went on another run. So that's why it's critical for us to either get rejected up here if we pull up there or keep coming down. Let's go to the Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ chart, 3-week chart. We got the 12 days left until this candle closes. And that's going to tell us whether we're going to get the buy now signal or not. Currently at this moment, we have the stock RSI crossing through the 50 line. So that's one of the things we look for, and that's check. So happening right now. We have the TSI crossed. MACD just flipped green. RSI pressing up on the 50 line. So these next 12 days are going to be crucial and critical as far as the direction for the next couple of months here. And we're running into some resistance. So let me kind of show you back here are we at a point like this where it's our first kind of retest back up, and we kind of retested up here before thinking it's 2020, before the FTX crash. So we kind of have it right there. And then this would be the second time, which would be equivalent to there. And that would make sense in the sense that if in 12 days, if we see that vertical blue buy now flash, then it's likely because we had a nice price spike up here. So in the next 12 days, we're really going to know whether we're out of this bear market completely, or if this is going to be another pull back down and then we go. That's what we're really waiting on. But we know we're at the tail end of it, and we're just waiting these next 12 days to really see, are we going to get this vertical blue buy now? Because if we do, then that's probably the best thing that could happen as far as our confirmation and validation that, yeah, the bear market's over, bull market's in. So that's what we're watching there. And then a break above the zero line in the TSI would be definitely crucial as well too, and really solidify, like really zooming out. Sometimes you can get so excited as far as when we flash the buy now here, when we get above the zero line in the TSI, we go on huge runs. And then when we cross back down and get our sell warnings and sell now, then it's over. So we're really going to be ahead of the game as far as these bigger trends. This is where you make all your money, not on the day-to-day stuff. The day-to-day stuff, you can make good money, But like if you are buying in heavy down here and selling out heavy up here, that's where millionaires are made, multimillionaires. And right now, like even here, we had the sells up here, a couple sells over here. And basically like we have the second buy now signal in this chart since 2015. 8 years later, and we're flashing it again. And right now, this kind of price action is looking good, even though we do have to wait 12 days. But we're popping our head through right there. And that's going to be so crucial because like if we're looking at in comparison, this is like say 33K Bitcoin, 30K Bitcoin right here. And then if we can take out right up here, then that's even better. So I would say if we can get back above here and reclaim this as support, then it's back on. The bull market is officially like there's no contemplating it at that point. Unless, we come up, like this is what I would expect is if we broke up here, maybe we'll go a little bit sideways until the middle of the year. And then we can maybe go up more, or we go up a lot now. And then by the middle of the year, we come back down. And then by later in the year, we go up again. So that's the two type of scenarios I'm watching for. Also the scenario of coming back down one more time and then coming back up, coming back down and then going. So I have 3 scenarios in my mind right now as far as how this could play out. So I'm watching that very closely. Now let's go to the NASDAQ versus Bitcoin. So like inverse chart. Right now we are seeing us having continuation down here. We have the candle kind of lower than these past two. It's a 2-week chart, so this is lower than the past 30 days here. We do have MACD red. We have the TSI cross. When we crossed up here, that was the bull market, kind of the bottom here for this chart. And that was when we kind of went into our bull market top back in May of 2021. So this is going to be crucial to watch as far as like if we can continue lower here and we get through the zero line, it's set in stone. And right now we're seeing the early warning signs that, hey, this is actually true. But in 3 days, we'll know exactly. And if we can see the blue cross through the 50 and the pink cross down, and this continue to kind of vertically head down here and nosedive, then we're in a good position for the bottom being officially in and like having that confirmation. I do think it's in, but we are in a time like 10 to 12 days where anything could happen to kind of, it's like a make or break moment of within the next 12 days, whatever happens in the charts could either accelerate the belief of the bottom being in and like for a lot of people, like setting it in stone. Because if we break through 25K and start heading up to 28K, 30K, a lot of people are going to be like, all right, yeah, bottom's in. But this could be the period where it's a bull trap and we kind of come back up one more time and then back down, which if we came back up one more time, that's not good for crypto. And that's what would give Bitcoin that kind of double bottom back down to retest maybe 20K. So let's now go to the total crypto market cap. So 12-hour chart, we're still above the 786, holding it as support. Let me go to the daily chart. Yeah, so right now we kind of reclaim the 200 moving average on the daily. The EMA ribbon is crossing through the 200 moving average. So that's all good. And then from this top, let me actually fix this a little bit. There we go. So from this top back here in August down to this bottom back here in November, we're right now battling with the 786. And right now we're holding above it, trying to really kind of hold it as support right now. So that definitely is a crucial level. So I'm going to mark that off. We'll put 1.05 trillion right there. So that, yeah, definitely a crucial level. If we can kind of start pushing up here, then we're talking about 1.18 trillion to 1.3 trillion, which will be a great move for crypto. So we don't want to see this kind of curl back down because we do see the MACD going from dark green to light green right now. And if this curled back down, this went back down, this went back down, then we'd probably, because we have some bearish dive right now. And if those were to cross down, then it's likely maybe we'd come and pull a scenario like that. So we need to watch that close. So let's go to the total 3, which is the altcoins. And I'm on the 10-day chart. It looks like we got a buy now signal here. Yep. So we got a buy now signal about January 21st. And we've still gone up since. The sell now signals nailed the tops here. This bottom nailed this bottom back in March of 2019. So this is looking good as far as more kind of confirmation that the bottom's in. If an acceleration of the trend up here would be probably getting above right here at this level, which is around 444 billion, which would get us above this resistance, which was support, support to resistance again. If we can get above there where the EMA ribbon is, kind of hold up, get above as support, and then we're going to go. And we're so close to there in the grand scheme of it. We're like 10% away, 15% away. So that's why like this area where we're at is really make or break in the next 10 to 12 days. So let's go to the bond yields, because right now, wow, we're pressing through right now. Let me grab this trend line, put it right there. Let me have that trend line like this. So right now we are battling with this horizontal line, and let me actually put this high down to this low. We're getting close to that 786 there. So that's around like 4%. So right now, and we're still in this kind of rising wedge. So watching this close, that was a pretty nice pop up today. But yeah, so rejection again, support. We're calling it up tight. If we go down to the lower time frames, we could get a sign as far as like maybe have some divergence. But right now we are below the 50 line in the stock RSI. We do want to see us get rejected there and not kind of pull up through there, because then we could go pretty rapid speed with the bond yields, and we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that happening. So we want to kind of roll back over here with the bond yields today, because if we do keep spiking up, could get pretty crazy with that. So that's on the radar. Let's go to the dollar. So the daily chart, this is what we've been watching, the daily and the 12-hour. Right now we have the 200 moving average sitting there right as resistance. So we want to get rejected at that level. That's around 104, let's just say 105, which is kind of coinciding with these highs here. So 104.75 to 105, watching that. And then the 12-hour chart, and look how we just like tapped the 200 moving average perfectly. 12-hour chart right now, yeah, we have it sitting at 104.85. We are red in the MACD and the TSIs cross down, stock RSIs cross down. We want to see this continue to go lower here. So we want to get rejected. We did have this trend line right here coming up. We are holding it as like support right now. If I were to kind of connect these points like that, if we do pop up, that's right here is kind of coinciding with that 12-hour 200 moving average, the daily 200 moving average. So pretty soon here, I do expect to roll over with the dollar. Let's go to the 2-day, the 3-day chart. We are kind of losing a little bit of steam. We are running into some resistance down here. So we've popped up. We're on the shorter time frames, we're still kind of bullish. If we can on the 6-hour and the 4-hour chart cross below the zero line on the TSI, we're golden. We're golden as far as like we're going to enter into another steep downtrend. It's going to be kind of set in stone. A lot of people will realize, all right, the dollar's kind of curl back down again. This EMA ribbon will flip from green to red. And that's when we'll see a melt up in crypto be more prominent and everything kind of melting up across the board. The dollar's a little kind of choppy right now. It's uncertain whether it's going to have another pop up or it's going to tank over. I think the market for crypto is just waiting on that, because if we break down here, I would expect you're going to see the whole market across the board melt up. If we pop up here, then we could have that scenario of the Bitcoin coming back down, maybe retesting 20K on a flash crash or something like that. So watching the dollar is going to give us that insight as far as which scenario is going to play out. And the stock market will be a good sign as well too. So we're on the 4-hour chart. The stock market, we're heading down to this 200 moving average here, sitting like 12,000. I would say that that's an area we'd want to hold as support. So if I take this low to this high, that's right where the 786 is sitting. And then that's where kind of prior historical support resistance was, where we got resistance here, then support, resistance, then I would expect some support to come in right there. But if the dollar kind of rips up, then that'll probably get cut right through. But yeah, it's definitely critical to hold that, because that's where the 12-hour EMA ribbon is. And like, we want to hold this area where we're at now to prevent the TSI from crossing down to zero, crossing down through the zero line. So holding right here, or at least this 12-hour 200 moving average sitting at 11.8K would be the area where we want to see that come in. Because if we break that, now we're kind of revisiting levels at like 11,200, where it starts to get a little scary and a little cautious as far as, we're sitting on a thin rope here. We have that, and if that breaks, that could mean, it could spell trouble. It's trouble across the board. So definitely watching that close. Now let's go to XRP, XLM, and XEN, kind of give those a check, and then I'll get to newsletters for the day. So let's go to the 12-hour chart, and we're on XRP. So right now I'm going to pull this low to this high. And if we do drop down, I'm targeting 0.3716 as a support level. If we break that, we have the extension down at 0.3353. But let me actually grab now this low to this high all the way at the top. And we have 0.3516 as that 786 down there as well too. So the levels for XRP I'm watching to hold immediately, short term 0.3716 if we fall to it. And then 0.3516, and then if we break that, 0.3353. That's the downside. To the upside, where we want to break above, I'm going to grab this high, say this is the bottom right here, down to this low. Currently, we want to break above 0.4172, and then 0.41, and then 0.4036, and 0.3963. So those are the levels we want to take out. But let me actually now go to a lower time frame and kind of get this move from here. So this top, let's say this is the bottom right now, coinciding, with that 0.4039. So definitely a key level getting above that point, because we kind of double topped here if we're looking at the lower time frames. Let me go to the 1 hour chart. 0.4040 is definitely a key level to get above short term. And then if we can reclaim back above 0.40, like 2 cents, then it's on. Then it's definitely on. So that's what we want to watch. And then we have our downside target. So you can definitely just take a screenshot and give you a sec. Look at the right side. Those yellow tabs there are highlighted. Those are the levels to watch. Okay. This is XRP. So now let's go to XLM. So XLM right now is looking better than the rest of the market, I would say, as far as strength. So it's kind of one of the only ones that are in the green today, even just by a little bit. You have XLM, you have XYO, Bitcoin Cash, Vega, one of our ones in Space Chain. Let's go. But so what we're seeing right now is if we can hold support kind of where we're at right now, or where we wick down to, I'm on the 4 hour chart. That's where the middle line of the void lines is, just around like 0.093. If we can hold that and then start pressing up here, I have a target of 0.105. That's our like immediate target if we keep rallying up here. And that's definitely a critical level to get above in the macro kind of picture and hold as support. It was our level that we held as support back here in the summer. Support, broke it. Then because the FTX crash came down, rejection. And we're breaking above this kind of point we've been rejected at since November back here. So rejection all across here, and then rejection all across January. If we're taking time into account and time analysis, we kind of did our time down here, let's just say. And right now I always say what happens on the left happens on the right. And if I were to put this vertical line in the middle, so if we put that vertical line in the middle, and then let me kind of make it a color so you can see it. So add that vertical blue line in the middle, and let me now just kind of, but first off, if we break above that 0.105, hold as support, then I'm targeting around 16 to 18 cents. So now that we got that covered, look at that vertical line. So I always say that like what happens on the left happens on the right, and you have to just take time into account. So this was like our bottom here. So if I and this was right at the start of the new year. Let me actually put this straight down in the middle on January 1st, right here. Perfect. So let's grab that, bring it to the right. So this was around like 57 days from when we had our kind of top here, and then we started slamming down. And then let's see if we've done our due course. So let's see. We're currently at 51 days, 51 days. So maybe, we've kind of are getting close to the time period where we should see, and we tested the levels now too. Like if I zoom in, look at this, like beautiful structure as far as like synchronization with Stellar of we have our middle point, right? We had our kind of come up to here, come back down once, support, come back down like one support. This was kind of like more tight, where this one was more stretched out. And then we kind of go sideways, back down to test it again, support. Then we go sideways, back down, test it again, support. Basically, we test this area twice, once, twice, maybe a couple more times. So we could be at a scenario where we tested it once, twice, and then we have to do our third one, which is a flash crash wick, and then kind of back up, and we do something like that to have the completion of this. But we could have already done it. So, but how we would know if that's going to be the case is we have a clear trend line we can follow here. So you could always set a stop loss down here. You could always just kind of watch it and set an alert on this trend line. But yeah, so we've done our time. I mean, what happens on the left happens on the right. And I hope that kind of spelled that out to you as far as like, this is probably one of the most beautiful examples that I found of this. So yeah, then we go on this channel, come down, go up, go on this channel. And what I would expect is us to complete and come up here. So that's what I see for XLM. Then let's go to chain and let's finish this off. So chain right now, huge news has been coming out for it. Like I'm starting to like chain a lot more as far as just like having it be cemented in stone as far as, yeah, they're here to stay and they've been tied up for a while now. We did kind of retrace back down a ton. It's kind of giving people a second chance right now. We have on I think it was a 6-hour chart, calling it to a T. Yeah, look at that. So 6-hour chart, we had our buy now right here. We had our sell now right up here. That was, let me actually go to the 4-hour because we're waiting on the 4-hour buy now to get back in. So right here, buy now, sell now. In 5 days, 72%. We have not got our buy now yet. We have prepared buy soons all up down here. So we're very oversold and likely. And that's why I love drawing the trend lines along with the Stargate signals is like you draw this trend line like this. This is the trend line we're watching because it was just riding this up. And at this point, we only had 4 hours of time to kind of get early warning signs as far as this was going to curl over to hit the top, but then it slammed down. It rode this middle line of support until breaking it. So now we have the same thing going on, just opposite, right? Now we have this trend line coming down like this. And now we can watch this as far as once we break it, we might have 4 hours of warning before we break it to the upside. You know, we could kind of pull up and then we have 4 hours. And then all of a sudden you'll see a green kind of candle come back up to 0.033 and retest like probably a 200 moving average, and it will happen quick, kind of like this candle did. So definitely on my radar, and we can get early warning signs of the vertical blue buy now coming in by looking at where we're at right now. So this 4-hour candle closes in 20 minutes. We have the stock RSI crossing up, getting close to the 50 line. So if we see this cross through the 50 line, we see the TSI cross, see the MACD flip green, yeah, then we're likely getting the vertical blue buy now. But if we're looking to the past and we're looking at now the daily chart and kind of seeing where we're testing. So horizontal support here. So horizontal support, boom, right there. Yep, right there. So we had support all across here. We had a huge pump up, came back down right to it. So this could be a second chance for another spring back up like that. So we got that on our radar. And then right here, we have a low and we have a lower low, but right here we have a low and a higher low. So we have some hidden bullish divergence and we're flatlining. So as soon as we get an uptick, we know what to do because we know what happened back here with that. So interesting times ahead. It's going to be fun. We're going to be on it, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Come join it. The link will be in the bio, and I'll see you guys in the newsletter.